Hey people, it is Saturday, October the 19th. The time is 3:43 in the afternoon and it's about 18 degrees Celsius. And it's also my mom's birthday today, so happy birthday once again to my mom. I did talk to her a bit earlier. And I'm on Yonge Street. I was just at this Canadian Tire store. It's something I had to come and check out here. That's actually the first time I've ever been inside this Canadian Tire store. At Yonge and Church, where Church Street curves up around to meet up with Yonge Street and continue on as Davenport Road on the other side. But I'm going to make my way from here to Kensington Market. It's a beautiful fall day in the city. The temperatures have rebounded after we had some quite chilly days lately. But there's a almost complete lack of humidity. A nice breeze. I would say almost perfect conditions for taking a afternoon walk. So I'm heading south along Yonge Street. I'm gonna make my way to Yonge and Bloor, and then I'm gonna get off of the main streets. I'm gonna walk along one of the side streets that runs parallel to Yonge, between Yonge and Bay. And I'll sort of stay off the main streets, I think, as I make my way to Kensington Market. Other than here on Yonge right now. There's a Burrito Boys that I have not been to yet. Looks like it's closed. There's the Toronto Reference Library, the main downtown branch of the Toronto Public Library system. By far the biggest branch, the flagship, you could say. There's a look into the Yorkville neighborhood. This building is magnificent on the inside. If you're curious, I did do a video of some Toronto Public Library branches where I started off inside the flagship here, if you'd like to see how it looks.
No, it's a park.
We're approaching Yonge and Bloor. And I think just recently the new soon-to-be super tall condo called The One here caught up to its neighbor in height. They're pretty much equal now in height. And it's One Bloor East on the other side. But this one is not done yet. It's going to keep on rising and surpass its neighbor by a pretty good deal eventually. But for now, they're both sort of reigning as the tallest building in the Bloor-Yorkville part of downtown. This one is 76 stories. And this one will either be 85 or 91 stories. It's still not clear what its final height will be. In any case, it will be a super tall. That's over 1,000 feet tall, or 300 meters. There's a look straight down Yonge.
Yes, because it is common.
So this is considered the most upscale shopping area of downtown, Bloor-Yorkville. You could say Bougee, perhaps. It's actually maybe a step or two above Bougee. And where we're headed to in Kensington Market is the most Bohemian part of downtown. From Bougee to Bohemian. And the vibes of the two neighborhoods couldn't be any different, or any more different. All right, so I'm going to get off of Bloor Street here. We're going to make our way south along several different streets and laneways. Just sort of all link up with one another. This is Balmuto Street. But once we cross the next street up ahead, the name will change. This area is going crazy vertical in recent years. Here's the Manulife Center. It's a small shopping center connected to a very tall apartment building by the same name and an office tower. There's the Manulife Center apartments right there. That used to be the tallest building in Bloor-Yorkville. It's been left in the dust by quite a few newer buildings. Manulife Center is sort of like the old man of the tall buildings of the area now. It's over 50 years old compared to its new upstarts, such as you see rising straight ahead that way. All right, it's across Charles, so St. Nicholas Street begins here. I think this building is slated to be redeveloped. I like how the street here is interlocking brick. Cabano's Comfort Food. And lots of leaves on the ground now. Still lots of green though. Fall is lagging a bit this year in terms of the colors on the trees. How nice is this though? So here's where it looks more like an alley than a street. That's why I refer to these sort of hybrids as strallies. So over in that direction is Bay Street. And right over here is Yonge Street. People walk through these areas like they're alleyways, but cars still drive through them like they're streets. I have to make a detour due to construction. A ramen restaurant. Get some neat vantage points walking through these detours sometimes. Wellesley Street, so I'm going to head back over to the Strally, as I call it. Continues on. It's Dr. Lillian McGregor Park. See, they've retained these old heritage townhouses here also. Front is the new lobby of this tower. And St. Luke's Lane. It just occurred to me that I think tomorrow is actually the last pedestrian Sunday in Kensington Market. Maybe I should have waited till tomorrow to do this walk, but oh well. I have done a video through Pedestrian Sunday already this year, but it was kind of right near the end of the night, and it wasn't even in full effect or anything, and cars are already starting to drive through the area. So I'll definitely have to make up for that once Pedestrian Sunday starts up again. I'm about to walk through the last section here of the Strally. It ends at College Street. You can see the Aura towering in the distance, sort of terminating the view, right behind College Park. Crossing Grenville Street. Now we'll watch Aura sort of disappear behind College Park. Going, gone. And that's it for the Strally. All right, I'm going to cross College. Yonge Street, we're over there. Watch out for cyclists. There's some tunes coming from Franz. That's a neat restaurant I recommend. All right, so we're not going to stay on College. We're going to take the first side street heading south. I think there's one before Bay called La Plante. Or actually, I think La Plante is after Bay. My bad. So we'll cross Bay and then we'll come upon La Plante. Maybe that car is on the way to Yorkville. Yeah, so here's Bay. The longest canyon of high-rise buildings in the city, really. I did a walk along the full length of the Bay Street Canyon not too long ago. Alright, here we are. This is La Plante, even though I don't see a street sign. I thought there used to be a sign here telling you what the name of the street was. You'll find that happens sometimes in Toronto. Same with looking for the address on a building or storefront. They're not always clearly listed or visible. Just one of the quirks of Toronto, I guess. This is a very quiet street here. It's really just sort of like the backside of some Bay Street residential and office buildings. And you have a parking garage on this side. On the other side is Hospital Row. So I think a lot of these cars in the parking garage belong to people who work in the hospitals. There's Hater Street. Don't hate. There's Jimmy's Coffee. There are locations scattered around town. Almost all of them have a mural depicting famous Jimmys. I'm sure you can recognize a few of those Jimmys there. Some of them are Jims also. They have the names listed right below if you're not too sure who they are. And some of the other murals have some different Jims or Jimmys. Some of the other shops around town. All right, this is Gerrard Street. Crossing Elizabeth Street, you have the back sides of several hospitals here. Seems to be some sort of commotion over there. I think they're fire engines. So Gerrard Street ends up ahead at University Avenue. don't know if I can make it across before the light changes. Oh, it looks like I'm good. Although now I only have 10 seconds. I might actually have to pick up the pace here. I feel sorry for anyone with mobility issues. Has to try and get across there. So, University Avenue. Really nice, wide, new bike lanes here. I think they're extra wide here to allow ambulances to fit inside the bike lane since we're in Hospital Row here. Hopefully these won't be some of the lanes that a certain politician has hinted at the possibility of being removed in the city. I couldn't think of a stupider thing to do. It wouldn't surprise me. All right, so getting off of University Avenue. This is Elm Street. So we're getting closer to our destination. There are lots of different routes I could have taken between Bloor-Yorkville and Kensington, some of which would be shorter than this one, I'm sure, but I didn't want to walk all along the main streets again, since I've done that quite a bit lately in other videos. I actually had a plan to do a different video today that didn't pan out. It was something I had to do in order to do that video, and I was not able to do it. I know that sounds pretty vague. Here's the beginning of St. Patrick's Street. Hall Street. Get across. Sometimes motorists surprise you when they're able to actually stop and let you cross. Alright, now here is Baldwin. So for those of you familiar with Kensington Market, you might recognize this street name. Although we're not in Kensington Market, we are in another very neat little neighborhood called Baldwin Village. I walked through here not all that long ago. I wonder if these restaurants are
Aren't you the bodies?
getting their patios back in order again. They probably thought that the cold weather was bringing an end to patio season, and all of a sudden it's back again, at least for the next few days. That one's pretty busy. Baldwin Village is very small here compared to Kensington. And it sort of blends in with Chinatown, as does Kensington. You could say that Baldwin Village, Kensington, and Chinatown all blend into one another. I'm trying to avoid the sun. I think if I was on the other side of the street, it would be even worse. Crossing Beverly. So now we're really officially in Chinatown. I can hear my keys just jingling away in my pocket. Because I walk so fast, my legs are kind of moving at a much more rapid rate, which causes things in your pockets to jingle around more than they would if you were walking more slowly. And I can't help it, it's just the way I walk. Looks like this old semi-detached house was literally cut in half here. Building the other half up from scratch. Obviously it used to look like that one. I wonder what the new addition will look like, if it'll sort of retain the old character, if it'll be a modern sort of thing. You'll find some other examples around town of houses like that that were cut in half and then nothing was built to replace it. Kind of like these gritty older row houses and semi-detached houses. You can see how Toronto row houses, or I guess you could call these townhouses since they don't match. If they all matched one another identically, it would probably be a row house, but when they're all different than one another, or mostly different, you could call it a townhouse. Toronto definitely has more townhouses than row houses. We do have some true row houses though. Quite a few. These old residential neighborhoods on the edge of downtown are almost exclusively made up of attached housing, even though many people mistakenly characterize the areas as full of single detached homes. It's not the case, really. Here's a new one. It sort of towers above its neighbors. But it's still literally touching its neighbor. And we're approaching Spadina Avenue, one of the main drags of Chinatown. Got some nice alleys here. I'm gonna have to redo a walk through these alleys. It's been a while. All right, so Baldwin Street seems to end here, but actually it does continue on. Bit of a jog here. That's another quirk of Toronto. Lots of the streets don't line up with one another from one side of a major street to another. Looking straight south down Spadina. Looks like we're going to lose this view of the financial district once this new residential building starts rising. But at least the CN Tower will still be visible. So we could enter Kensington Market right here. But as I mentioned, Baldwin Street continues on right over here.
I think he's gone.
Kid was trying to scare the pigeon. Speaking of pigeons. And just like that, we go from Chinatown to Kensington Market. Although I'm on the wrong side of the street. I'll let this guy go. The neighborhood has these neat little entry markers here. So I made it, so I'm going to start to wrap up the video. I won't do a full walk through Kensington for this walk. Maybe I'll continue on in another walk though, perhaps tomorrow for Pedestrian Sundays. So I hope you enjoyed the walk from Bloor-Yorkville to Kensington, from Bougee to Bohemian, you might say, on a lovely fall day here in the city. So leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members, and be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.